Kaiba Dat never expected this when he put on his custom-tailored suit. He was ready to announce his engagement to Lu Nu-yen at the banquet, but instead, she is holding hands with his adopted brother, Wai Dang Than. 10 fingers intertwined, she pulls him right into the middle of the crowd. She loudly declares they are truly in love. Her husband can only be Wai Dang Than. She claims Kaiba Dat isn't worthy of being the Lu family son-in-law, calling him way too reckless. In just a blink of an eye, the man engaged to Lu Nu-yen becomes his adopted brother. Everyone around looks at Kaiba Dat with sheer pity or pretty mocking stares. But he just calmly accepts the breakup. He turns right around to marry her older half-sister instead. After all, Lu Nu-yen has already made her choice. The Lu family heir should probably be swapped out too. Lu Nu-yen grips Wai Dang Than tightly. She pulls him to stand firmly in front of absolutely everyone. Wai Dang Than cries out in total panic. He tries pulling his hand back. He tells her this is completely impossible because the marriage was personally arranged by Grandpa, but she just stays totally firm. She says he is the one she loves, absolutely refusing to marry anybody else. She laces her fingers with Wai Dang Than. She looks straight over at Grandpa Lu, sitting in the main seat, telling Grandpa that she only likes him. She will only take Wai Dang Than as her husband. The guest's eyes are full of sympathy and sharp sarcasm. Everyone knows Kaiba Dat and Lu Nu-yen are childhood sweethearts. They were personally picked by Grandpa Lu to be married. Yet right now, you can literally feel the second-hand embarrassment here. In front of absolutely everyone, she slaps him right in the face, leaving zero room for any doubt. She claims she grew up with Kaiba Dat, but always saw him as a brother, with zero romantic feelings. She says she and Wai Dang Than are truly in love. They made it official long ago. In her heart, her husband can only be Wai Dang Than. No other man will ever do. Lu Nu-yen's parents look awful, nervously glancing over at the old man. She just hooks Wai Dang Than's arm. She turns to look at Kaiba Dat with a pretty mocking gaze. She tells Kaiba Dat he should know she has no romantic feelings for him. Surely he doesn't want to force a loveless marriage and completely waste his entire life, right? Besides, she and Wai Dang Than are already together right now. Is he really going to use Grandpa's obvious favor to step in and forcibly tear them apart? Kaiba Dat looks at the two of them, bowing to Grandpa Lu. If they truly love each other, he really shouldn't be the one splitting them up. He congratulates Miss Lu and Wai Dang Than. He sincerely wishes them an early wedding and a long, happy life together. Hearing him say this, a flash of pure displeasure crosses Lu Nu-yen's face. Meanwhile, Wai Dang Than just cautiously holds onto her arm. Wai Dang Than asks her a question. Since Grandpa arranged the marriage with his younger brother, won't the old man be deeply upset about this? Lu Nu-yen lightly pats his hand, gently coaxing him. She says no. Grandpa loves her the most, so how could he possibly get mad at her over this? Plus, he is the real child of the family and the true heir. The two families are just uniting. Why even care about some outside guy? This so-called outsider identity of his is only known by his biological father and Grandpa Lu. His mother is the heir to a major film family, the Kai family. His parents' marriage was purely a business partnership, so he will eventually inherit the Kai family. That is exactly why he took his mother's surname. Let alone, she actually thinks Wai Dang Than is his father's biological son. Grandpa Lu hears her words and heavily frowns. He warns her not to be foolish. Are you entirely sure about marrying Wai Dang Than? Lu Nu-yen firmly slides the ring onto Wai Dang Than's hand, letting him lightly kiss her forehead. She tells Grandpa she has thought it through. She will only marry Wai Dang Than. Grandpa Lu looks at her with clear disappointment. If it was just a simple swap in the marriage, he wouldn't really have any problem with it. But deliberately choosing today to make Kaiba Dat lose face in front of everyone? It totally proves she is not a reliable person at all. Fine then, do as you wish. Grandpa Lu speaks up, and everyone breathes a heavy sigh. This union between the two families invited quite a few big names in the business world. Everyone eagerly wants to know how it will ultimately end up. Amidst all the buzzing whispers, Lu Nu-yen just grabs Wei Dang-than's hand. She turns right toward the guests gathered today. She formally declares it, thanking absolutely everyone for coming to attend the engagement ceremony. Between her and Wei Dang-than, everyone's expressions are completely different. I mean, honestly, would you ever expect a massive family to just swap fiancés mid-event like this? Kaiba Dat's father clearly never saw this disaster coming, and his face instantly darkens. Kaiba Dat's face isn't much better, but he still tries to keep his back totally straight. He raises a glass to toast, offering a precious gift. Miss Lu really just swapped Fiancée right on the spot, leaving absolutely zero dignity left for Kaiba Dat. Didn't Grandpa Lu insist on choosing Kaiba Dat as the grandson-in-law? Why agree to change people now? Swapping guys right during the engagement is just way too humiliating. The guests gossip, and their voices aren't quiet at all. Kaiba Dat's father glares at Wei Dang-than. He drops all politeness with Lu Nu-yen. Pulling a stunt like this today. How much gossip do you want your younger brother to endure? You aren't young anymore. Acting without thinking of the consequences. Isn't this just a direct slap in your father's face? Wei Dang-than gets scolded so badly by his father that he almost takes the ring off to return it. But Grandpa Lu waves his hand to stop him. He gently pats Kaiba Dat's shoulder with pretty clear guilt. Old man Lu tells him to rest easy. Grandpa will definitely take charge and handle this for him. If you agree, the Lu family still has some pretty great girls. Hearing Grandpa's words, her parents just thought he was comforting me, so they paid it absolutely no mind. But what they completely didn't expect was me pointing right at the Lu family's illegitimate daughter, just standing in the corner enjoying the drama. Honestly, the one I've always liked is Nu Twyat. So please make this happen, Grandpa. Every single eye instantly snaps to Lu Nu Twyat, then darts right back to me, full of heavy scrutiny. Lu Nu Twyat is actually the illegitimate daughter of the Lu family's eldest uncle. After he passed away, she was basically ignored by the household. Her life here hasn't exactly been a walk in the park. Still, she is part of the Lu family line. Grandpa Lu didn't want outsiders gossiping about the family mistreating their own, so he decisively brought her in to raise her right by his side. My dad stares at me in pure shock, lowering his voice to warn me. But Dad, I know you are upset, but she is illegitimate. The Lu family doesn't even value her. I just casually swirl my wine, raising my glass toward Lu Nu Twyat as a signal. It's not like she chose to be born that way. I think she's quite alright. I am fully willing to give this a shot. Lu Nu Twyat meets my gaze, her whole attitude completely indifferent. Well, since Mr. Kai likes me so much, then let's just give it a try. The crowd stares grow even more confused. The Lu family swapping partners right on the spot spreads through the elite circles like wildfire. Right after the banquet ends, I get a text from my mom. In our private room, she hugs me tight, looking absolutely heartbroken while shooting my dad a furious glare. Ditch Nguyen, you actually let my son suffer such a massive humiliation? Looks like you are completely tired of living a peaceful life. I grab my mom's hand, pulling the topic right back to the main issue. Mom, I already changed my marriage partner. Her name is Lu Nu Twyat, and I genuinely like her a lot. My dad wipes the sweat off his forehead, sighing heavily. That girl is illegitimate, just an outcast in the Lu family. Why on earth would you choose her? I look directly at my parents' deeply questioning eyes, and slowly explain this marriage was set by Grandpa Lu and our grandpa. So I absolutely have to marry a Lu family girl. Even though Lu Nu Twyat is illegitimate, she's easily the most capable young person in their entire family. Brilliant, and knows how to protect herself. Looking at pure business value, she is quite literally the most suitable partner. Furthermore, she's an illegitimate child. If I marry her, the Kai family becomes the ultimate foundation. She needs to firmly hold her ground. In the Lu household, I can guarantee she won't betray me. Meanwhile, keep your eyes on this. Why Dang Than has somehow become the absolute golden boy everyone wants to befriend. After all, two top families joining hands means if there's a chance to collaborate, it will definitely push their careers to a whole new level. As for me, I didn't care less about any of that nonsense. I'm currently overseas, completely focused on finishing the mission my mom gave me. That day was Grandpa Lu's birthday. Why Dang Than personally sent me an invite, even calling me several times, so I practically had to show up. The second I step through the Lu family gates, everyone's eyes instantly lock right onto me. I don't feel awkward at all, just smiling as I hand my gift to the Lu family butler. Wait, why is counterattack here? Didn't he already swap fiancés? You really haven't heard? When the Lu heiress completely insisted on changing partners, he got so incredibly mad, he just picked the Lu family's illegitimate daughter instead. Even if it means marrying outcast, he's still desperately clinging to the Lu family. Counterattack is seriously pretty reckless. Right while everyone is gossiping, Lu Nuyen arrogantly appears arm in arm with Wai Dang Than, totally different from her usual quiet, gentle vibe. Today she is wearing a super high-end gown, practically dripping in complex, luxurious jewelry that is blindingly sparkly, but honestly just a little bit too showy. Meanwhile, just Wai Dang Than's tailored suit alone comes with a pretty massive price tag. The shiny watch on his wrist costs as much as a whole villa. Seeing me standing here, he casually strolls right over, patting my shoulder. Little brother, we are both Lu family sons-in-law now. Isn't that just absolutely great? For the sake of our brotherhood, I will definitely tell Nuyen to look out for my new sister-in-law more often. I almost burst out laughing right at him. At this point, he still actually thinks all I care about is marrying the Lu heiress. And get this, Lu Nuyen assumes the exact same. In her eyes, I would use absolutely any dirty trick just to marry her. The look she gives me is like I'm some kind of absolute trash. I honestly couldn't care less about either of them. I turn to leave, but then I spot a stunningly beautiful orange jade pendant hanging right around Wai Dang Than's neck. That is the Lu family heirloom, something normally kept by Grandpa Lu. I never expected it to suddenly show up on Wai Dang Than. The Lu family heir hasn't even been officially decided yet, so why is the ancestral jade sitting on Wai Dang Than's neck? I point at the jade on his neck, my eyes narrowing just a bit. Where did this jade come from? Lu Nuyen visibly flinches for a second. Meanwhile, Wai Dang Than gently strokes the jade on his neck, looking almost fake sad. Little brother, this was originally meant for you, but since I am the one marrying Nuyen now, this jade naturally belongs to me instead. Lu Nuyen also nods, acting completely and totally justified. In her eyes, she is already the guaranteed heir of the Lu family, so giving the heirloom to the man she loves to wear early is really no big deal. This is the Lu family heirloom. I can freely give it to absolutely whoever I want. What's it to you? After saying that, she looks me right up and down, arrogantly taking a step back. Don't even dream of using this to stay tangled up with me. I will never actually like you. My heart only belongs to Dang Than. Lu Nuyen's voice isn't quiet at all, causing quite a few eyes around us to snap right in my direction. People always thought young Master counterattack looked pretty noble, but word around is he'd even steal his future sister-in-law just to climb up the Liu family ranks. Those two are obviously deeply in love, yet he still wants to relentlessly cling onto her. Dang Than sighs and gently grabs Nuyen's hand. Hey, don't be so harsh on my little brother, he tells her after he marries Nu Tuyet. We'll all still be family anyway. When that time comes, you should help the newlyweds out a bit. Nuyen just glares right at me, then looks up and playfully pinches Dang Than's cheek. Fine, I will let it slide just for you, Dang Than. But listen here, counterattack, if you still have any weird ideas about me, do not expect any mercy. Now watch this. Perfect timing. Right during their little romantic moment, a sharp voice suddenly rings out from behind us. Why would my husband ever want someone like you? Hey, Yen, speaking that way to your very own future brother-in-law, isn't that just a little bit too disrespectful? Nu Tuyet walks through the door, supporting Grandpa Liu, a bright smile playing on her lips. But her eyes throw a pretty obvious challenge right at Nu Yen. Grandpa Liu catches sight of that gorgeous orange jade pendant hanging around Dang Than's neck, and his eyes instantly darken. Who gave you permission to wear that? Take it off. His voice is calm, but heavy with pure authority. Dang Than literally shakes in fear, scrambling to remove it. Nu Yen completely pouts, muttering under her breath, Grandpa, I am the one who let Dang Than put it on. Since that pendant is going to be mine eventually anyway, what is so wrong with him trying it? Grandpa Liu does not say a single word back, just gives her a freezing glare and leads Nu Twyat forward. After quickly clearing his throat, he looks out over the crowded birthday banquet and makes a massive announcement. Today, besides my birthday, there is actually another joyful matter I want to share. This right here is my granddaughter, Nu Twyat. Very soon, she will be officially engaged to Kai Badat. I hope everyone here joins us then for a celebratory toast. The moment those words drop, the whole room goes dead silent. Everyone's eyes keep darting between me and Nu Twyat. Nu Yen freezes up, totally shocked. Grandpa, what are you even saying? Why on earth is Kai Badat getting engaged to Nu Twyat? She is literally just some illegitimate child. Grandpa Liu quickly cuts her off with a booming shout. Nu Twyat is my real granddaughter too, part of the Liu family. Now watch the real game begin. Once the party wraps up, I pull her aside privately. Inside the private room, she gives me this super cryptic look, her mouth lifting up into a faint smirk. I'm just some forgotten illegitimate kid. The Liu family has so many outstanding girls to pick from, so why on earth choose me? I smoothly slide a thick stack of documents right over to her. Because you need me, and I need you. Teaming up is our smartest play here. She just casually glances at the papers without picking them up. And what exactly could we possibly collaborate on? I stay perfectly calm and just nudge the files closer. I have looked into your background. You are genuinely capable. I want us to team up. Besides, if you truly don't care about the Liu family at all, then why are you making so many moves in secret? She shoots me a guarded look, but I don't care. Leaning in close, I stare right back into her freezing, sharp eyes. Don't you want to know the real reason? Lu Lo Gia said marrying me is your only way to inherit the whole Liu family? She stares at me for a long time. Just when I think she'll say no, Lu Nh Toot actually reaches out. Happy working with you, my dear Fiancée. Just as expected, right after I officially choose Lu Nh Toot, Lu Lo Gia finally starts treating her seriously. Originally, she was brought back in total secret, completely hidden away from everyone. Lu Lo Gia probably investigated her completely before announcing the engagement at this birthday party, taking the absolute perfect chance to give her a grand debut. Lu Fu Nann and Lu Mu never expected this massive twist. They are completely stunned, barely able to process anything right now. After all, in their eyes, I'm just an illegitimate son carrying my mother's surname, with absolutely zero future in inheriting anything. After graduation, my dad didn't even arrange a job for me, leaving me to mess around with random things. All of this clearly signaled that I could never inherit the estate. So when the Fiancée swap happened, they chose to just ignore it. Anyway, between a completely jobless young master and a powerful future heir, it goes without saying who actually holds more value here. Lu Fu Nann finally manages to snap back from the shocking news, her hands still trembling as she clutches her chest, gasping for air. Meanwhile, the guests take turns offering drinks to Lu Nh Toot. Just 2 days ago, Lu Nhyn was acting so high and mighty, but now watch this. She's pushed straight to the sidelines, struggling miserably. She's absolutely furious, glaring right at me, demanding answers. You've only met Lu Nh Toot a few times, you're just marrying her to get back at me. Do you even understand what I'm saying right now? Lu Nh Toot stands right beside me, looking down at Lu Nhyn. She's not just a full head taller, her overwhelming aura completely crushes her. Didn't you hear clearly? The person KBT likes is me, so why would you ever think he'd be into you? I step up and wrap my arm right around Lu Nht's waist. My eyes meet Lu Nhy's with this helpless look, like I'm just watching some little kid throwing a tantrum. I already told you, the one I actually like is Lu Nht. In my eyes, she completely outshines you. Please stop flattering yourself. She still refuses to believe that I actually like Lu Nht. Her eyes stay glued to me, completely conflicted, and she even reaches out to grab my hand. BT, I seriously regret everything. If you're willing, I'll go tell Grandpa right now that the person I really want to marry is actually you. Standing right next to her, Nh hears Lu Nhy's words and instantly goes pale. He reaches out to pull her jacket, but she just harshly slaps his hand right away. I easily dodge her touch. I look back at her, there's absolutely zero emotion left in my cold eyes. I completely disagree, a voice shouts out. Every guest just stares at the scene in pure shock. Wait, Miss Lu wants to marry Kai but Dad again? They grew up together, after all, so there is definitely still some feelings there. Maybe her fling with Wai Dang Than was just a passing phase. Exactly. The second she heard Kai but Dat was marrying someone else, she immediately refused to accept it. Wai Dang Than clenches his fists. His face goes completely pale, and with pitiful red eyes, he grabs Lu Nuyen's hand. Nuyen, he cries out, didn't you say you were going to marry me? You told me I was your only love. Only now does Lu Nuyen remember she still has a fiancé standing right there. She looks at him, hesitating, but before she can decide, Old Man Lu marches over with a dark expression and slaps her hard across the face. What on earth are you doing? He yells, is marriage just some kind of joke? What do you think these two young men are? You think this is a market where you can just pick and swap whenever you want? Who raised you to act like this? You are an absolute disgrace to the Lu family. Desperate, Lu Nuyen shoots a pleading look at father and mother. Lu, Mom, Dad, please talk to Grandpa for me. Didn't you guys also want Kai but Dat to marry me before this? Now, he is purposely marrying that illegitimate child just to get back at me. Once he calms down, he is definitely going to regret this. Hearing that nonsense, Old Man Lu's face turns completely black. He just announced Lu Nuyen as the official heir. Now Lu Nuyen is throwing a tantrum in public, making them all look like complete fools. What kind of circus is this? Who is actually marrying who here? Are they swapping partners again next week? Father Lu senses his dad's boiling anger and immediately slaps Lu Nuyen too. If you say one more word, I will break your legs. Apologize to your sister and Kai but Dat right now. Even as foolish as she is, Lu Nuyen can clearly see the crowd watching her like an entertaining show. Backed into a corner by the glaring eyes of Father Lu and the old man, she reluctantly bows her head and apologizes to our guy. My tolerance is pretty low, so I got drunk and spouted some absolute nonsense. But Dat, please do not take it to heart. But Dat smiles and accepts her apology, his gaze flicking over to Wai Dang Than, who is grinding his teeth in the back. You should go comfort your fiancé, he tells her. After making a scene like that, he must be feeling pretty terrible right now. With Bud Dat pointing it out, everyone's eyes instantly shift over to Wai Dang Than. He usually loves being the center of attention, but this kind of spotlight is definitely not what he wants today. Wai Dang Than glares furiously at Bud Dat, shoots a resentful look at Lu Nuyen, and then literally stomps out of the banquet hall. Now watch how the tables turn. After that birthday party, Lu Nuyen calls Bud Dat countless times, but he completely ignores every single one, because the date for his engagement to Lu Nuyen is already locked in for next Thursday. It is a bit rushed, sure, but for the Kai family, pulling it off is no problem at all. His mother even plans to announce him as the official heir on that exact same day. Since someone from the Lu family is getting engaged, Lu Nuyen obviously has to be there too. But Dat is in the dressing room, adjusting his suit for the stage. Just as he gets ready, a staff member comes running in a total panic. Lu Nuyen needs you. They tell him head over there right away, but when he arrives at the specific spot, the door suddenly slams shut from the outside. A hand clamps tightly over his mouth and nose, and a heavy dose of gas makes his whole body go limp, totally draining his strength. Only then does he see clearly. It is Lu Nu Yen. Her eyes are flashing with pure obsession and absolute madness. Once Lu Nu Twiet sees what we do in here, she will never marry you, she whispers. You can only marry me now. But Dat is completely furious, shocked she would pull a stunt like this. Are you totally crazy? He snaps. Doing this will make both our families lose all their face. She bites her lip and asks why he decided to marry someone else without even thinking twice. I'm telling you right now, you are only allowed to marry me. But Dat laughs coldly at her sheer shamelessness and tries to swing a hard slap. But thanks to the heavy drug, his strength is just way too weak, barely brushing against her face. You were the one who announced you would marry someone else at the party, and now you blame me? She stares deeply right into his eyes. I regret it, she tells him. I finally realize you were always the one I loved from the very start. And why Dang Than was just a passing phase. Right as she is about to pull his belt off, the door gets kicked wide open. Lu Nu Twiet storms in, violently grabs Lu Nu Yen by the hair, and hurls her to the floor. But Dat and Lu Nu Twiet lock eyes. A moment of silence. She splashes water on his face, then guides him to another room. His entire body feels completely exhausted right now. Going down to the banquet? Absolutely impossible. Instead, he just calls his mother and the assistant who stayed nearby. You can probably guess what is coming next. He whispers a few quick instructions to that assistant, and soon enough, the hallway outside erupts into total chaos. A woman is wailing and screaming her lungs out, mixed with a man roaring in anger. Lu Nu Twiet walks back in, sees he is recovering, and leans against the doorframe, watching him with clear interest. You had someone drug her, huh? He smiles, pushing himself up to sit. Just returning the favor, nothing more. Lu Nu Twiet helps him out of the room, and the hallway right now is an absolute spectacle. Lu Nu Yen is right there, crying, throwing a massive fit. Why? Dang Than angrily loosens his tie, trying to quietly comfort her. Meanwhile, another man just stands nearby, watching the whole thing coldly. Father and Mother Lu arrive shortly after, and anyone with eyes can tell exactly what just happened inside that room. Lu Nu Twiet and I are standing just a little bit away. Lu Nu Yen immediately points right at us, screaming her lungs out that we set her up. I almost lose my cool and blurt everything out. But then I remember she totally tried to strike first. So I instantly snap back to reality and stay sharp. If this whole mess blows up any further, Old Master Lu absolutely will not let her off the hook. She cries out, how could he treat her like this? Especially when he promised to only love her forever. She keeps shrieking at the top of her lungs. And all that bitter scolding immediately grabs the attention of pretty much every single guest at the engagement party. Those two past incidents already left Lu Nu Yen's once perfect reputation completely in ruins. Causing another massive scene like this today. Who even knows what the public will say now? Surrounded by all those judging stares, Lu Nu Yen gets absolutely furious and instantly takes all her wild anger out on Wai Dang Than. Wai Dang Than fires back with a hard slap, asking why she is still arguing. Haven't they lost enough face already? Amidst all this wild chaos, absolutely nobody realizes the engagement ceremony got delayed by 20 whole minutes. Lu Nu Twiet and I walk out hand in hand, completely ignoring Lu Nu Yen's totally glaring eyes. We just stand right up there on the main stage, smiling so sweetly. Right then, my mother steps out from the back, bringing the main butler and a few top assistants from the Kai family. The guests just stare wide-eyed in pure, absolute shock. Even if they do not recognize my mom, they definitely know. Those are the exclusive Kai family assistants. A bunch of people immediately start inching closer to make small talk. But right then, my mom grabs the mic and officially announces me as the sole heir of the Kai family. Down below the stage, Lu Nu Yen and Wai Dang Than look completely drained of their souls. Their jaws hit the floor, totally clueless on how to even react. Right next to them, the Lu parents turn pale, then red, gasping heavily like fish completely out of water. They never saw it coming that I was the actual Kai family heir. At this exact moment, they finally understand the hidden meaning behind Old Master Lu's mysterious words. Whoever marries me actually gets the ultimate right to inherit the Lu family. After the big engagement party, Wei Deng-than and Lu Nu-yen instantly become the total outcasts everyone totally avoids. All those greedy people who used to flatter them now dodge them like a plague. And obviously Lu Nu-yen just cannot handle being treated so poorly like this. She desperately wants to prove she is way better than Lu Nu-twiet. But her actual skills just fall super flat. If she just stuck to normal business deals, she might have survived. But she stubbornly keeps throwing cash at things she barely understands. In the end, everyone plays her for a total fool, making her lose a massive fortune. Instead of actually looking in the mirror, she blames Lu Nu-twiet for setting her up, and starts going completely crazy, trying to ruin her at every turn. Watch this shift. After endless massive failures, Old Master Lu finally hits his limit, dragging her right back home for a pretty brutal scolding. He takes absolutely everything away. She gets to keep her shares, but she is completely banned from working. Meanwhile, Lu Nu-twiet and I team up. She helps me expand globally, while I help her completely lock down her power domestically. I really have to admit, Lu Nu-twiet is incredibly gifted when it comes to the business world. In just a short 6 months, she absolutely smashes the target set for the entire year. Old Master Lu totally recognizes her real talent too. He starts handing her major internal projects, even pulling her into the main headquarters for a top position just to sharpen her skills even more. Everyone knows that unless something totally wild happens, Lu Nu-twiet is absolutely locked in as the Lu family heir. One side is shining bright like the midday sun, while the other side is just completely sinking into ultimate gloom. Stripped of absolutely all power, Lu Nu-yen just wastes her days partying while even hooking up with all sorts of flashy male models. Wei Deng-than gets cheated on over and over again, leading to earth-shattering arguments every single day, completely destroying that gentle image they used to have. The very last time he caught her, Wei Deng-than completely snaps. He furiously charges in to throw a punch, but accidentally shoves Lu Nu-yen right down a steep flight of stairs. She avoids any major injuries, but tragically loses the baby she was carrying. The two manage to stay quiet for a little while, until one of Lu Nu-yen's flashy male models suddenly shows up, knocking right at their front door. Eventually, the whole messy truth reaches Old Master Lu. He actually breaks 3 wooden canes, beating her, sending Lu Nu-yen straight to the hospital for an entire month. Even though Lu Nu-yen is a total disaster, her father is actually quite incredibly capable. I know getting Lu Nu-twiet to fully inherit the Lu family definitely will not be a walk in the park. You kind of see where this is going, right? Even if her father is super tough to handle, having such a useless daughter actually makes this whole situation a lot easier to deal with. Lu Nu-yen stirred up way too much ridiculous drama, so after leaving the hospital, her father is forced to make her marry Wei Deng-than. He is fiercely competing for a major project bid right now, so he desperately needs this wedding to salvage their pretty much non-existent family reputation. Lu Nu-yen actually seems to finally grasp how serious things are, so she surprisingly plays nice and fully cooperates to get this wedding done. Ever since Lu Nu-twiet's incredible reputation started soaring, Lu Nu-yen's former high status as the Lu family lady constantly gets dragged into some pretty harsh comparisons. The people trying to kiss up to Lu Nu-twiet end up completely trashing Lu Nu-yen's name into the ground, and obviously, every single bitter word reaches her ears. Rumor has it she completely wrecks a bunch of expensive stuff at home, finally gritting her teeth and swearing she will definitely make Lu Nu-twiet pay. Then, during one massive collaboration, the huge project Lu Nu-twiet manages suddenly gets flagged with massive issues, involving not just cutting corners on materials, but even crazy allegations of secretly draining the company's assets. Just when Lu Nu Yen thinks she can ride this perfect wave to strike back, things completely flip, and the authorities suddenly show up to drag people away. With all her remaining subordinates gone, she loses every ounce of real power she had in the company. Trudging back home, feeling fully defeated, she barely steps through the door before she hears Yang Nh cheerfully bragging about his grand achievement. "Hey, honey, did Lu Nh Toot's project run into some trouble?" Lu Nhyn stares right at him, her eyes full of heavy suspicion. "How do you even know about that?" Yang Nh looks incredibly smug. He actually had someone leak all of her confidential data to the public. Oh, and he even had people swap out the construction materials on that site too. Before he can finish, Lu Nhyn gets so incredibly furious her anger boils over, almost making her pass out right on the spot. She knows perfectly well, if this mess ever gets exposed, the damage will crush not just Lu Nh Toot, but the entire Lu family. And when Grandpa Lu finds out Yang Nh is the one behind it, he definitely will not show her any mercy either. Lu Nhyn's gaze turns ice cold as she glares at Yang Nh. Without a single word, she drags him straight to the car, hits the gas, and speeds all the way to the old Lu family estate. She drops to her knees in front of Grandpa Lu, crying as she fully exposes Yang N's unbelievably stupid and reckless behavior. Only at this moment does it hit him. He just caused an absolutely massive disaster. He tightly hugs Lu Nhyn's legs, crying out and begging for forgiveness. He swears he only did all of this just for her sake. She looks so miserable every day, so he just wanted to help, never expecting things to end up like this. Grandpa Lu gets a massive headache from them both, slamming the table in pure anger. Enough is enough. The urgent priority right now is to properly fix this mess. He gives Lu Nhyn a really deep look, then heavily sighs. "Lu Nhyn, you have truly disappointed me," he says. Meanwhile, Lu Nh Toot and I both get called back home. Inside the Lu family estate study, Grandpa Lu glares sharply at Yang Nh, recounting the entire ridiculous situation from start to finish. "Now watch this unfold." My dad almost faints from blind rage, pointing a trembling finger right at Yang Nh, asking why he did something so foolish, and why he always insists on fighting his own brother. Why can't he just live his life peacefully? Zero remorse from him. Instead, he gets completely indignant, pointing right at me and loudly screaming at my dad. "We are both your sons," he yells out. "So why does Dad always give me the very best things, handing over the family business to me, while he gets left doing nothing?" My dad hears this and gets even more furious, shouting back that whatever he buys for me, Yang Nh also gets a share. Some things were private gifts from my mom, so does someone really have to prepare a separate portion just for him? Back in high school, he barely even graduated, so Dad had to pay to send him abroad to study. Does he really think he could run a company? If he took charge, it would go bankrupt in less than a month. And yet, he still blames Dad. Zero work given. Yang Nh chokes up at my dad's harsh scolding, then grits his teeth and asks, why did Dad only give him 5% of the shares, while handing KBT the remaining 35%? Is it really fair to treat his mother like that, especially when she literally didn't survive giving birth to him? My dad tiredly rubs his forehead. You can see the heavy disappointment in his eyes. He explains that he only gave KBT 5% himself. The company's single largest shareholder is actually KBT's mother. Dad only holds 12%, keeping to for himself, and splitting the other 10 perfectly equally between the two of us. And one more thing, he must tell the absolute truth. Yang Nh is not actually his biological son, just an adopted child picked up off the streets. And the adoption papers prove it. Dad treated him with pure loyalty and care, never expecting him to turn out exactly like this. Hearing he wasn't even a blood relative, Yang Nh instantly loses all the remaining energy in his body. Lu Nhyun originally thought she could use her husband's family to regain her footing, never imagining things would end up totally ruined like this. While the room sits in absolute pin-drop silence, Lu Nhyun is the very first to step up and propose a solid solution. She acts incredibly fast, successfully handling everything perfectly right before the harsh public opinion has any chance to explode. When the news hits the press, the company instantly issues a statement, proving they already finished internal checks, while handing the involved parties over to the proper authorities. Once everything settles down, Grandpa Lu holds a huge press conference, officially confirming Lu Nhyun's status as the true heir, while Lu Nhyun's entire family gets pushed aside for good. Even though they still hold some shares, their actual power, far weaker now. They dump all the blame right onto Yang Thenh, the whole family loudly arguing in endless chaos. Meanwhile, grand wedding with Lu Nhyun takes place, looking truly spectacular. The two of us look at each other and smile, silently mouthing the exact same words. Happy cooperating.